Good evening, everyone. I'm Aisha Sindhu, and you are watching WION's special broadcast at 8. We stay focused on the Tamil Nadu conundrum tonight, with Sasikala Natarajan behind bars and the Golden Bay Resort MLAs still in captivity. There's no sign of the issue getting resolved anytime soon. All eyes are now on the Raj Bhavan, though, as the governor looks like he is playing a waiting game. It does sound unusual that the governor hasn't yet invited Edapadi Palaniswamy to form the government, even 24 hours after he staked claim to form the government. Now, to discuss all of that a little further and help us receive a perspective, we're going to be joined by a number of guests to give us an idea of how exactly all of this may pan out in the days to come. But just to give you an update on how things stand right now, Sasikala Natarajan is currently in jail. She has moved to Bengaluru and is most likely not going to receive any sort of special treatment while she is there. We've been told that the authorities have permitted her a television, but there's no air conditioning in the room that she will be boarded in. She has, on the other hand, asked for time to meditate as well as space to exercise while she is there. So although the focus has shifted to Bengaluru for the time being following Ms. Natarajan's move there, the focus also is on the other epicenter of all the activities so far as Tamil Nadu goes, and that is Chennai, and more specifically the Governor Vidyasagar Rao's decision, so to speak, on how this is going to pan out any further. I'm joined right now by Kalyani Shankar, political commentator, for more of a perspective on this. Ms. Shankar, thanks for speaking with us here on WION. In your opinion, what is the governor waiting for?
Thank you. Hello?
Ms. Shankar, if you can hear me, my first question to you is, what exactly do you think that the Governor Vidyasagar Rao is waiting for?
Well, you see, I have heard the Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi yesterday saying there is no need for Vidyasagar to decide within a day or two. It's not necessary that he has to give his verdict within 24 hours. And he has been, ADMK led by Sasikala is getting really agitated that they have not been called and they have not been asked to form the government. So that is one thing which probably he wants to pacify them. And in any case, the ADMK led by Sasikala, the new Chief Minister designate Edapadi Palaniswamy, he has gone just now. He is meeting the governor right now at this point of time to remind him once again that they have got the number of people there, and then they should be invited to form the government as soon as possible. That's the reason he must have given them the time. And also maybe he will listen to them once again. But strangely enough, this Paneerselvam also is going to meet him at 8:30. So he has been keeping both parties happy by meeting them simultaneously or more or less at the same day.
Ms. Shankar, also, like you're pointing out, there's no real reason for the Governor Rao to, come out with his decision anytime soon. There's no sort of precedent demanding that he does that. However, is his current stance of playing this wait-and-watch game working as a form of optimism for the OPS camp?
Well, you see, OPS probably, everybody knows this, that BJP at the center would like OPS to be the Chief Minister. They've been supporting him, and OPS had been coming to meet Modi earlier twice, and then also he had BJP government at the center had supported him at the time of Jallikattu. They have supported him at the time of this oil spill very recently, and they have got a very good working relationship. So therefore, and the BJP spokesperson in Chennai also has been supporting Paneerselvam camp, and also talking against Sasikala camp, saying that the MLAs are kept captive, they should be released. And from the voices from BJP which is coming out from Chennai also is very clear that they would rather have Paneerselvam as a Chief Minister than anybody named by Sasikala or Sasikala herself. That Sasikala becoming the chief minister is now out of question.
Right.
So now we'll have to see whether that Edappadi Palaniswamy will be able to get the support or not.
Right. Stay with us, ma'am. I'll come to you with some more questions in just a bit. But I'm also joined right now by my colleagues Archit Seshadri and Raghavendra Rao. Remember, the two of them have been tracking all the updates for us from Tamil Nadu. Archit, you've been in the hot seat there for quite some time now. Tell us what you're picking up on this conversation that Governor Rao is having with Palaniswamy and what might be expected when he meets with Paneerselvam later tonight.
Aisha, that's right. In just about 30 minutes, that's when OPS is expected to come down here to Raj Bhavan to meet Governor Vidyasagar Rao. In fact, right now, that other meeting is taking place with Palaniswamy. So Governor Vidyasagar Rao giving both candidates a fair chance to talk about the majority and how they will be able to form that government. I'm also going to bring in my correspondent, our colleague Raghavendra Rao. We've both been here in the streets of Chennai tracking this back and forth. What do we expect to happen in the coming days in terms of Palaniswamy as well as OPS?
Archit, it's very clear. I mean, Palaniswamy, as of now, has the support of a majority of MLAs, 125 MLAs to be precise. The magic figure here is 118.
Right.
So he has 7 more, and those 7 MLAs could be the key to OPS getting a shot at power, and if not getting a shot at power, at least denying Palaniswamy a chance to get a shot at power. So OPS camp at the moment may be having, on paper, may be having the support of very few MLAs, but they still have the potential to sabotage Palaniswamy's chances of staking a claim to form the government.
That 118 number.
Absolutely.
And what is interesting about all of this is that, just to break it down, to make it really simple, 234 lawmakers. So one of the candidates, either Palaniswamy or OPS, will need a majority. So that's 117, half of 234 plus 1. So that magic number being 118. So at this point, even though OPS has not as many as Palaniswamy claims, he could sabotage, as Raghavendra just pointed out. So that is the big wait and watch, and it'll be interesting to find out what Governor Vidyasagar Rao does, who he will give a chance to be able to form the government. My sources are telling me that more than likely it could be OPS, and he could maybe give him like a week, a time frame to prove that absolute majority. If that doesn't happen, then it could go to the alternate candidate. In this case, it could be Palaniswamy. Well, he'll have some time to prove that. So Palaniswamy is the only one that technically will be sworn in because, of course, as we know, OPS has already been sworn in. So if he accepts that resignation, he doesn't need to be sworn in again. So that's how all the legalities will sort of take place. And then there's also the option of the DMK. They could also be given a chance to prove and form the government. And then, of course, President's rule, where they could be suspended or be up for free election. So quite a wide range of possibilities, Aisha, in terms of what will happen here on the ground in Chennai and Tamil Nadu. I also want to bring in Raghavendra really quickly about the MLAs. There's been back and forth about how long they've been there. They've been at that resort, some say on their own will, some tried to escape. In fact, SP Kanchipuram was there trying to get them out, we understand, earlier this afternoon, giving them that deadline. But we do believe that they're still there as this meeting takes place. So why do we believe that? Why are they still there? And if they truly weren't held hostage, does this make it look like they were there on their own free will, that they haven't left that Golden Bay resort?
Archit, it increasingly looks like that these MLAs realize that, sticking together for the moment and sticking together under Palaniswamy is their best bet at their moment. Nobody wants to, get into a fresh round of elections. Nobody wants president's rule in the state. They've been seeing that while some of them have been supporting the OPS faction, but the numbers on the OPS side are too little, too few at the moment. So these MLAs are realizing the significance of sticking together. They realize that if they stick together for the moment, and if Mr. Palaniswamy gets to become the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, at least, they will at least remain in government for the next four years at the minimum. So yes, there have been charges that they were being held against their wishes under captivity, but we had an entire police brass present, top brass present at the resort the whole day yesterday
to prevent the security of any kind of outbreak.
So, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if these people were under duress, if these people were under captivity, if they were being held against their wishes, 2 IG level police officers were there for most part of the day. None of them came out complaining. So this talk about they being held there captive appears to be losing ground as of now.
Sure.
These people are there, and the very fact that they continue to be there even after Sasikala has left Chennai and is now in a Bengaluru prison, and this goes on to show that this is a well orchestrated plan on part of the Sasikala camp.
Right.
And before leaving, it would be fair enough to suggest and believe that Sasikala has given explicit instructions to these MLAs to stay put at the resort till the time there is a floor test in the Tamil Nadu Assembly.
Well, there you have it. That is the latest. And again, real quick, just to reiterate, the longer the time for the floor test gives Paneer Selvam, OPS, the chance to galvanize and get more of those MLAs on his side. And it'll also be very crucial on who Governor Vidyasagar Rao appoints for proving that absolute majority, because there are many new MLAs who are technically unbiased. So that'll be very crucial on who Governor Vidyasagar, after his meeting, gives to approve that absolute majority. Aisha, back to you.
Thanks, Archit. Stay with us, both you and Raghavendra. Just to remind our viewers, these are live visuals we're getting to you from Chennai. The hot seat, so to speak, is the Raj Bhavan, the governor's residence. He is currently meeting with Parinasamy and is expected to meet the other contender for the Chief Minister's post, that is O. Paneerselvam, shortly from now. I'm going to go back to Ms. Kalyani Shankar. She's joining us on the program to give us a more sort of perspective on this story. Ms. Shankar, as my colleagues were pointing out over there, as it stands right now, it's quite clear that Parinasamy has the numbers and O. Paneerselvam does not. So how important then does the time factor become in all of this? We're hearing that some sources are telling us also that the governor may ask both factions to present their numbers, and if that is to happen, is there a time frame that should also be mentioned in the same breath so that the resolution to all of this comes about as quickly as possible?
Well, it is one option which has been mentioned by the Attorney General Mohit Rohtake also. It has been practiced both in Jharkhand and earlier in UP. So there has been, it's not a new thing which the governor might adopt. And maybe, I think in my opinion, Vidyasagar Rao will opt for the composite voting, which is called both sides will be asked to propose a resolution and the MLAs will be given a free choice to support whoever they want to. So it has been done before, so it can be done again. So it will in a way solve the problem. But the point I want to make is the longer time they give to both of them to prove their majority, there will be the more chances of horse trading. You see, you have seen before also in many states, just recently in Arunachal Pradesh, on the day when they were to vote, just that morning they were with one party, and in the morning the regional party, which had not a single MLA, formed the government by 1 o'clock that day, and because the MLAs did not reveal their mind. So the MLAs are very clever. I don't think they will have to tell you who they are. They may be with somebody, they may vote for somebody else. So it all depends on the horse trading, and which will, the longer the governor delays, the more there will be chances of horse trading, which is a very big danger, I would say.
Ms. Shankar, you're bringing up horse trading, and of course the time factor then plays into that idea of horse trading as well. We've been hearing also that there is another sort of faction or another factor at play over here, and that is backdoor politics that are taking place from the center and not just in the state itself. So if Governor Rao does choose to, continue this wait and watch game and not come out with a decision anytime soon, do you feel that this might further strengthen some of those rumors about the center trying to intervene and play a more significant role in how politics play out in Tamil Nadu?
Well, what can the center do? You see, this is not the time for the center to intervene at least. They should let the governor do what he wants to do, what he has to do constitutionally. After all, it is for the governor to decide to install who he wants to. After all, he has dual role. So one is he is the agent of the center. The second thing is he is the titular head of the state. So he has to perform his duty. And I don't think the center would openly come out and intervene in any way. I don't give credence to that kind of rumors. So we'll have to wait and see how they go about it. And
sure. Let's go back to Archit and Raghavendra, who are standing by in Chennai as well. Archit, if you can take this across to Raghavendra, is the governor's stance right now indicating that there is a bigger story when it comes to this plan of waiting and watching to see how things turn out in the next couple of days? Is that something you guys are picking up on?
Absolutely, Aisha. Let me bring that question over to Raghavendra. The question is really, waiting and watching how all of this unfolds. Is that part of Governor Vidyasagar Rao's strategy? Just to bring into perspective, last week he was criticized that he wasn't in Tamil Nadu when all of this happened, when the split happened between Sasikala and OPS. What do we expect the governor to do? How crucial will the quickness of his decision pan out, so that there is possibly no split in the party, or perhaps the DMK sort of jumping in at the opportune time?
Archit, it's amply clear that the governor is in no hurry. That has been, his attitude, his demeanor, right from the moment this crisis, this political turmoil broke out in the state. He has been taking his own time, watching things, analyzing things, and trying to, evolve a strategy to deal with the circumstances. Even now, he appears to be in no hurry. He's studying the various possibilities present before him.
Right.
He's likely to give time to both Paneer Selvam and Palaniswamy. But yes, at the end of the day, the harsh reality is that governors are political appointees. They are the center's person, centrally appointed person in a state, and the ruling party at the center. In the Indian parliamentary democracy, the system is such that the central government always exercises some degree of influence over the way a governor in a state functions. So the very fact that, the governor's actions, or the kind of time he's taking to arrive at conclusions and to, decide his plan of action, is actually benefiting OPS more than anybody else. It is enough for the conspiracy theorists to come out and say that, the governor is acting at the behest of the Modi government at the center. Because technically speaking, the more time he spends mulling over his options and, thinking about what to do, what not to do, OPS gets more time to secure the required numbers. So yes, those theories cannot be ruled out per se. But yes, they are playing out in the backdrop. But yes, given his track record so far, Vidyasagar Rao is likely to weigh in all the options. He would not like to rush into a situation, and
Right.
he does not see an impending law and order problem in the state also. If that was the scenario here, if Tamil Nadu was burning, so to say,
Right.
he would have been under more pressure to act even more promptly. But as we have seen through the past 2-3 days, despite Sasikala's conviction, despite
Despite the
even
guilty verdict, we
absolutely
haven't seen any of that.
So the law and order situation is perfectly all right. Everything appears to be under control. So the governor is trying to take his own time, reading the situation, analyzing the situation, weighing his options, and we may expect him to take a decision soon.
So that decision could come in the next couple of days, but technically and legally, he doesn't have any sort of a deadline to come back after listening to both sides, so weighing out his options. And interestingly, at this hour, we also have more, I feel like, questions than answers. In fact, what happens to Veda Nilayam, Jayalalitha's house, the assets, who will inherit the property, the wealth?
Right.
Will it be turned into a public memorial? So there are more questions than answers, even though that guilty verdict came down about 36 hours ago at this point. People thought this might be an easy victory for the Paneer Selvam camp, and
Absolutely.
the numbers don't have it just yet, but it doesn't mean that Palaniswamy also has an easy path to prove that he has the majority in the government.
Right, Archit. In fact, I think the questions outweighing the answers is going to continue for some time. I'm going to ask both you and Raghavendra to stay on. Ms. Kalyani Shankar also requesting you to stay on with us on the show. We have to take a quick break on this point, but when we come back, we'll continue our discussion of the situation of turmoil in Tamil Nadu. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us on WION. The situation in the state of Tamil Nadu is still fluid. News coming from Chennai at this moment is that the CM candidate of the Sasikala camp, Palaniswamy, is in a huddle with the governor. So we should have some more news from there soon enough. But on the other hand, the other camp, that is the O. Selvam camp, is also all set to meet the governor later in the evening. As the state waits the outcome of these meetings, a few questions, or many questions rather, still remain to be answered. To give us perspective on all of that, I am joined by Ms. Kalyani Shankar, political analyst on the program. Ms. Shankar, if Palaniswamy is asked to form the government, what do you expect to happen in the state next? Break it down for us.
Well, first of all, I'm very doubtful whether Vidyasagar will ask him to form the government, and my bet is that he would ask for a composite vote with giving both parties equal opportunity, because in his opinion maybe Selvam was forced to resign and he was coerced to resign, so maybe he should also be given a chance. If that is his view, then he would try to balance both the candidates by asking for a composite vote. That's number one. And today, Palaniswamy's biggest problem would be keeping his flock in one place, because today is the first day Sasikala is not there on the scene. She has gone to the jail. She may be trying to get in touch with the MLAs through telephone, whether the jail will allow her to do that, whether she can clandestinely do that, and how will she communicate to her MLAs. These are all questions you have to see how it happens. But then Palaniswamy will have a biggest problem of keeping them together, because already there is one minister, Sengottayan. He is already sort of feeling that he should have been given the chief minister's post. He has not been given, so he is a little upset, and he might have some more MLAs with him. So there are many things between now and whenever they go for the confidence vote.
Right. Ms. Shankar, stay with us. I'm also joined by independent journalist Mr. K.S. Dakshinamurthy right now. Mr. Dakshinamurthy, thanks for joining in on the program. Ms. Shankar pointing out that Governor Vidyasagar Rao might just choose to go for the composite floor test option. Is that something that you agree with? Is the composite floor test option still a reality at this point, or is it going to be something different?
Well, I think we have come to the home run, so to speak. And, the floor test really is the way out now, because there's no other way by which anyone can, conclusively claim anything. So, yes, I think it's going to be the floor test that's going to decide the final winner, so to speak.
But what about the sequestered MLA factor? How do you read that demand of, having them move out of the hotel? Do you feel that this sort of arm twisting, they're saying that they're not being held there against their wishes, but is this some sort of arm twisting that we're seeing by an unseen force?
You see, what has happened is in the last about 2 to 3 decades, this has become standard practice across all states. This is not the first time that MLAs have been taken to a camp and, they've been kept so to speak, in some kind of captivity. It has happened before in Karnataka. It happened long ago in the 80s when N.T. Ramarao, there was an issue when N.T. Ramarao was, asked to step down, and, he had a lot of people. So it, in fact, probably started during that period, when all of them had taken round in, from Hyderabad, they came to Karnataka, to Mysore, they were in a hotel, lodged in a hotel. So since then, this has become standard practice. So this is not the first time. And then you had this instance where, the police went and spoke to each and every MLA, and then, the MLAs very clearly said that they were not held under duress. So what more can you do? I mean, when they are saying that they have not been held under duress, can you, I just don't see. And this point about captivity is okay if any one of them at least substantiates this. Yes, we have been held under duress, but not a single person has said that. So it's mostly the issue of the survival, that survival instinct is keeping them all together. They don't want to let each other go. So it's something like that, where, so which means that everybody feels secure when they see the others with them. It's like a crowd, if you look at the psychology of the MLAs, they just want everybody to be together, move together, be together, so that, they just ensure that they come out of this as winners.
Right. Thanks, Mr. Dakshinamurthy. I just would like Ms. Shankar also to talk to us a little bit more about, the sort of moves that Ms. Sasikala Natarajan made before she headed over to jail in Bengaluru. Because on the one hand, she claims to be Amma's closest confidant, but on the other, Ms. Shankar, she decided to bring back Dina Karan and company. Isn't she going against a lot of Amma's wishes? How do you read this, and how do you think it's going to affect her chances with the loyal Amma party cadre?
Well, you can easily make out that her main thing, she has been very, very ambitious. Otherwise, why should she try to grab both the party and the government within hardly a month or two? So that shows that she's been a very, very calculating and ambitious woman. And the fact that she has brought, the minute Jayalalitha died, even at that funeral, the whole entire Manargudi clan was seen on television for everybody to see. So she was not going to give up her family, although she had promised in a letter in 2011 that she had no political ambitions and then she would keep her family away, all that. But then, all that has gone to the wind the minute Jayalalitha died.
Right.
So I am not surprised at her making Dinakaran as the joint general secretary, because how will she control the party? Through him, she will control the party, and he is the man who will see that all the MLAs are voting for Palaniswamy and how to keep them in the flock, all that he will do it.
Okay,
so there is no doubt that she
by
depends
her,
on her family.
even as she's exiting.
She cannot trust anybody else.
Absolutely. So, we've been kind of come to a consensus on the show, and that is that there are so many questions to be answered as far as that tussle in Tamil Nadu go. In addition, all these moves by Sasikala Natarajan, but really speaking, the ball continues to remain in Governor Vidyasagar Rao's court. How is he going to move forward on this? We're going to track every small detail here on We On for you. But for the moment, I'm going to wrap up the show, but not before I thank Ms. Kalyani Shankar, K.S. Dakshinamurthy, and my colleagues Archit Seshadri and Raghavendra Rao. It's time for me, Aisha Sindhu, to say goodbye. We'll be back with more news and updates in just a bit. Stay tuned to We On.